Hi, my name is Emily and welcome to Secret Patterns. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of a different style video. This time I'll be sharing a crochet vlog as I make two different sizes of starfish, amigurumi starfish, from my pattern that I released last week. So I'm going to be using the pattern and tutorial. So I'll put a link in the cards to the YouTube tutorial for this starfish. So this starfish, I shared a tutorial on last week, and then this week I thought it'd be fun to try making a couple of different sizes of the starfish. So I'm going to try, my first one I'm going to try is I'm going to try making a smaller starfish with worsted weight yarn and a number 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, I'm thinking. And then I'm going to make a larger starfish with 2 strands of Bernat blanket yarn and probably a 10 millimeter hook. We'll have to kind of test it out, but that's my thoughts. So you can see this is the original size, and you can see like this is my hand, so it's kind of like a little bit bigger than your hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and try making the smaller one. So I'm going to be using for this little project Swish worsted in the color Frosting, and this is a color pink. I'm not sure exactly what color it is here. Let's see. Super pretty colors. So I'm going to be using these two colors and then this 4.5 millimeter hook. And side note, I absolutely love the Clover and More crochet hooks. So if you are at all interested, I'll put a link in the description box to everything I mentioned in this vlog. So I'm going to go ahead and start crocheting with these 2 yarns, and I'm going to be using my pattern that I'll put a link in the description box down below to my ad-free PDF starfish pattern that you can purchase, and then I'll also put a link in the cards to the starfish tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and start making the starfish, and I'll meet you back. So as you can see, I made the large, or the top panel, and then I've also made the back panel. So you can see here's the back panel and the front panel, and you can see if I come a little closer that these are super duper tiny, which is exactly what my goal was here. So you can see that these are super duper tiny. There we go. This is going to be the top panel. It's a little bit bigger, and then this one's the back panel. Anyway, wanted to hop back on, show you what it looks like. Now I'm going to add those little dots around the edge, and then I'm also going to crochet the two together. So I'm going to have the front and back panels, and I'm going to crochet them together, and then I'll meet you back and I'll show you what my progress looks like. Alright, so I just finished making this little starfish. Let me bring it a little bit closer. Here you go. So this is how it turned out. It's super duper cute. One thing I did notice is that the pink, the little pink dots, which you can kind of see were a little bit too light, and so you can't see them quite as well. But as you can see that this Wander yarn, which is also a number 4 worsted weight yarn, is a little bit thicker than if you compare it to this one, which turned out a little smaller. So I think these both would be really cute size for like a little keychain. I don't know, you could use them for whatever you want to use them for. But you can see that it just depends on the thickness of the worsted weight yarn to like the sizes. So I made this one with the same hook, just same worsted weight yarns, just a little bit thicker I think this was, and then a little bit thinner. So you can see those are how they turned out. I really love them a lot, and now I'm going to go ahead and start making the larger starfish. So I'm going to use probably this orange color, and I'm going to then use this, I'm thinking, for the border. So I'm super excited to start. I'm going to use a 10 millimeter hook and 2 strands of this Bernat blanket yarn, and so I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'll show you when I get a little progress done. Alright, so it's the next day, and I just finished the front and back panel for the large starfish. So you can see this is what it looks like. That's the front panel, and then this is the back panel, also called the top panel and the bottom panel. You can see that this one's definitely a little bit smaller because that's the goal. Because with this starfish, when you crochet around the edge, it will naturally want to bend back because there's more stitches in the front than in the back. So it will naturally bend backward, which is the goal, because you can see it in the end, we want it to be kind of leaning backward because that's just how a starfish realistically looks. And so I always love making patterns the most realistic yet adorable as possible. So anyway, I'm really loving the 10mm hook and the 2 strands of yarn. Let me show you. So when I stretch it, you don't see through. So it's really good for that. One thing that happened to me as I was making this is I was making the top panel last because that's how I wrote my pattern, and I ran out of this orange yarn. So as you can see, I just started joining my little tails from all of my other arms with my back panel and the other arms that I'd done for my front panel, and I start joining the tails together because I only had 2 rows left. So this is the back side, and then this will be the front side. I'm not too worried because in the end, when I do the edging, I'll crochet around it and it'll just look just as good as normal. So I'm not too worried, but it was not the most fun way to finish your starfish panel. So that is my little update. I haven't decided quite yet what I'm going to do for the the top stitching, whether I will do just like the 5 little dots like I did here on this starfish, or if I'm going to do the lines and the dots like I did on this one. So that's an option, and I mentioned how to do both of these in the starfish tutorial, which I'll put again in the cards above. But yeah, so that is my little progress update. One thing I did want to mention is that with this starfish, I absolutely love all the color combinations that you can do. So for this one, I did pink on the front, and then I used a variegated, let me see if I can show you this a little closer. I used a variegated yarn for around the edging, and then I used orange from the variegated yarn. I just separated the little bit of orange. So I used orange from the variegated yarn for the little dots. And then I ran out of pink for the back panel, so I used the purple. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that this is such a fun pattern. It sparks my creativity with how many different colors you can use for the starfish. And so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this large starfish, and I will meet you back after a little bit. Alright, so I was just sitting outside and I tried the 2 different types of yarn. So I tried the cream, this is the Bernat blanket yarn in the color Vintage White. And it's just a really nice cream. And then I also tried, this is Bernat blanket tweeds in the color, I believe it's Woodland, Woodland something, I don't remember. But it's their kind of white, and it's a base of that cream, but then with the tweed. So you can see here's the cream and here's that. So then I tried doing both. Let me see, got a little tangled. There we go. I tried doing both options for the little lines. So, and I decided I like the lines for this. So here you can see. This is the, let's see if I will focus. This is the tweed one with the tweeds, and then this is the one with just the white. So you can see here is the 2 different. So this one you can see is a little bit more of a stark coloration, it's more noticeable, but it's also a little bit more bright. And I think I prefer the tweeds, but you obviously could do whatever you wanted to do if you're doing this. I feel like I'm not doing the best. There you go. Maybe you can see that now. There we go. So you can see there's that kind of tweed in it. And then here, this one's just all cream. So that is my little update. So I'm going to do the tweed, and I'm also going to do the little lines and the dots because I just think it adds a little bit more fun personality. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back in a little bit and show you what my starfish looks like. Alright, so I just wanted to come back and show you all how my top panel is looking. So this is my top panel, and then I'm going to sew on or crochet the two panels together in just a minute. So I wanted to come on and show you. This is how the top panel is looking. So there's a line going from row 2 to row 7. Then there's 5 dots between the legs. And then there's a center line going from the end of row 1 to row 3. So you can see that is what it looks like. I absolutely love how it is looking. I'm super excited about it. One thing I wanted to mention is that I used a 7mm hook for the lines and for the dots. So the whole project I've used a 10mm hook for, but then for this I used a 7mm hook because I just like it looking a little bit smaller, and sometimes if you use the same hook size, it looks a little more raised. So I used only one strand and a 7mm hook for the top. So a little bit different than what I had used otherwise, but I still love the results. So one strand, 7mm hook, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on this little starfish and crochet it around the edge, and I'll meet you back. Alrighty, so I feel like the lighting got a little bit worse while I was finishing the starfish, but I wanted to come back on and show you what it looks like. So this is my jumbo starfish. I absolutely love how it turned out. I love the large size of it. You can see if I compare it to my original size. So this is the original, I'll call it normal size starfish. And then this is the large size. And then let's also compare it to the little mini one. So here's the little mini starfish. Here's the second larger, and then the largest. So you can kind of see the little progression. I think they turned out so cute. I'm loving all of the sizes. I would love if you commented down below and told me what your favorite size is. And if you make any of these starfish, always comment down below and let me know. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. Make sure to stick around if you enjoy vlogs or crochet tutorials. I post pretty much every single week, and so I'd love to see you in my next video. I'm thinking about doing another modification of my star for next week's video, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do that. So make sure you're subscribed if you have any interest in more starfish or star-shaped things. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!